In this video, I will show you how you can download and install VS Code, run and debug Python code in VS Code, run Jupyter Notebooks in VS Code, and create new virtual environment in VS Code. For that, let's open up your browser and write it here VS Code download. Open the first link and just click here on Windows, and my downloading is starting here. So once the download is complete, just open the folder that contains your download and just double click on this VS Code and click OK. So I accept the agreement, click next, next, okay, click next. Add and open code with context menu, that's also fine, and then in a context menu directly, that's also fine, and click next. Install. Click on finish. So just close this welcome page, and now you can write your code here directly by clicking over file, new file. This is a one way, create new file, or if you are anywhere in, you can say any directory. Let's suppose I am creating a new directory here and I am giving a name of Python project. So just right click here and open in code. This is another way, and another option, just press shift and right click and open PowerShell here and write it here code space dot. It will also open your code in VS Code. Now trust, yes, I trust the author, and now I can create a new file here. I am just clicking here new file and test.py. This is my Python file. I can write a code here. Let's suppose I'm writing here is print hello, and then I have to run this Python file. This is our directory where I want to create a new VS Code project, and this will be considered our workspace. I can open with code as well, or I can just press shift and click on open PowerShell window here and write it here code space dot. So it will open my workspace, the Python project in VS Code. I am just clicking on create new file and giving a name of test.py. So this is my new file in Python workspace that was inside the VS Code, and I'm just writing here is print hello, and now I have to run this. How I can run this? One thing is we can use a terminal window. VS Code is smart enough, it's giving me a extension to install, the Python extension. You can install whether either from here, or you can go here in the extension, or just write it here, or you can press short key as well, that is Ctrl Shift X. So it will open up this extension menu and write it here is Python. So it will show me all the Python extensions that supported, or you can say inside VS Code. I will just click on the install and it will start installing the Python extensions. So this extension is, you can say, given by Microsoft. Python is installed. I'm just closing this extension here, and now we can see this run button. I am just clicking on this run button, and you can see your output that this script is running, and you get the output hello. How you can debug in your code in VS Code? So let's suppose I am writing here a simple program that a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 2, and storing my result in C, a plus b, and just here I am print C. So here I want to check what is the value of a and b at any point. So I can use my debug option here. These are, you can see, are breakpoints, and you can either press F9 here. I am at this line, you can just press F9, or let's suppose on this line I am pressing here is F9. So it will apply the breakpoint. Now I will run the code. From here you have to just click on this and click on the debug Python file. So you can see that the debugging will be start in a while. So debugging is going on here, and I have to just click on here up step over button, and you will go in the next step. And on the local variable side, you can say on this window, you can see that what is the value of a, what is the value of b at any point in time. And after that you have to just click on step over button, and you can see the what is the value of c. You can also add these values in the watch, so that after the execution or completion of this program, you can at any time see the output again. Just your, you can say your bookmark or watch. So just right click here and click on add to watch. You can see what is the value of c is equal to 3. So then you press the continue. So it will show you the output of that. My program output is hello and 3. So this is more about, you can say, a Python, run Python code in VS Code, how you debug your code in Python. The next part is how you can install Jupyter Notebook and use those features in VS Code. So now I'm again going here in extensions, or you can just press the short key Ctrl Shift X and write it here Jupyter. So it will show me the what are the possible extension of Jupyter. I am just clicking on the first one, install. So it's installing the Jupyter Notebook in VS Code. So installation is complete. You can just now click here. You can see there, this is now saying that uninstall or disable. I'm just closing this, and I am just creating a, click on this Explorer and just creating a new file here, and name it is a test underscore notebook dot. And what is the extension of your Jupyter Notebook or IPython notebook is IPyNB. So it is similar that in Python we have an option of notebook installation as well, and in this you can install the extension as well in VS Code. So I'm just giving the name, and you can see that look and feel of the Jupyter Notebook is similar in VS Code, and you just write it here, the print hello, and it will ask you to allow the access of Python in VS Code. I am allowing my access here, and install the notebook remaining packages. Just click on install. So in the background it will start installing the kernel and remaining stuff for Jupyter Notebook. So these packages are mandatory for running your Jupyter Notebook in VS Code. VS Code is smart enough to see the extension of the file and install the extension accordingly as well. So installation is completed, and you can see the output here, and you can also create a markdown cell as well. This is by default is code cell, and you can change this to a markdown cell as well. Change to markdown and write it here any your headings or subheadings or your markdowns like scientific work, and just press on again shift enter, and this will be my markdown. And I am just again a is equal to 4, b is equal to 3, a is equal to b is equal to 4, and print a plus b. So again, this is by default markdown because I selected the markdown above. So you can now click on these 3 dots and change to a cell, code cell, and now I am again printing shift enter. You can see that the output is 8. So that was pretty good about Jupyter Notebook, IPython Notebook in VS Code, how you can use these notebooks. The third and last part of our video is how we can start with virtual environment in VS Code. The benefit of virtual environment that you are isolated from your all over, you can say, global environment, and you can easily hand it over your packages to your colleagues, your environment, or your any person, so that he can or she can come with these packages as you install in your system, as you install in your virtual environment. So how we can install the virtual environment here? The following window is not visible to you. You can just click on the terminal and new terminal. In my case, I can see here is my terminal, and you can now go to command prompt as well. So now just click on the command prompt. So you can see here is my CMD. So in order to install the virtual environment in this your workspace Python project, you have to write python -m venv and write it here the name of your environment. Let's suppose I am writing here is my first environment. So we notice that you created, do you want to select workspace folder? Yes. So it will create my first environment as a virtual environment. So you can see this directory as your virtual environment, and you can see that many subfolders in your virtual environment. So one thing about virtual environment is that virtual environment comes with different packages, or you can ship those packages to your project so that you don't have to install all those packages on the other system. These packages or libraries will be installed and shipped together with this, you can say, shipped together with this project, and you don't have to worry about those packages have to install on another system. So you can activate your virtual environment from here. So I am just writing, so you have to write cd my first environment and then write it here dir, and I have a scripts, cd scripts and dir again, and you can see activate, and I'm just clicking on activate. So my virtual environment is now active. You can see in my these parentheses inside these brackets, round brackets, I can see my first environment is activated. And now if any package you install here, that will be installed inside your virtual environment. So I am writing here is pip install. You can install Jupyter, you can install Python packages, like one of the package is NumPy. So NumPy installed successfully. Now you can check that this test file is inside the NumPy. I'm just importing NumPy, whether it is requirement satisfied or not. Import NumPy as np. So it's showing me that it's clear. That now I am just saving my program and run it again. Just click on this arrow and run file. So program is executed successfully. We installed Python inside VS Code. We installed Python debugger in VS Code. We installed Jupyter Notebook in our VS Code, and Finally, also install virtual environment in VS Code so that we can ship our code to any user and we don't have to install all those packages in that system again and again. So that's it. Thank you so much.